Oh, sorry, just a bit of camera adjustment there for the desktop. I wasn't set up. I am late today. I'm really sorry. I'm not organised for this evening at all. I haven't practiced. I've only just turned everything on to start streaming because I'm trying to get organised for a funeral we've got next week. So I've been a little bit busy with that, and I've not practiced because we had yet another property viewing on Friday. So it's all looking quite promising on that front, but won't press too much. Trying to look at two cameras at the same time here. How about we move that to roughly where that is, and then it should, yeah. You probably feel like I'm not talking to you. Hi, Marie. Nice to see you. So the plan is now, because I'm back at church. Been back at church since last Sunday, so I just don't have time because we're still pre-recording the Sunday service and doing the Sunday morning service, and I've got students back and we're trying to find a premises for September. I really haven't got the time to be producing things like I was before, and doing the readings and things. But I think most of you are either going to church now or you're watching services on other channels and things. So I keep going on a Sunday night. Yeah, we're hopefully viewing some more properties soon. So we'll see what happens. We've got till the end of August to find somewhere, so should be okay. So what I've decided to do from now is I still do music, I still do hymns, and I'll chuck in some secular stuff occasionally and some poems and occasional readings or anything you want to send me, really, to a theme. Now, May is National Share a Story Month. So I thought for every Sunday in May, we'll set our theme around storytelling. So what I want off you, like hymn requests for this week and other weeks, is just your favourite stories set to music, or not, or poems, anything, just your favourite stories that you'd like to share with us. And I found, just to kick off the month, I found a really nice poem. Well, it's not, it's a song. It's a folk song. I don't know if any of you have heard of it. It's the first time I'd come across it, but I really liked it, and I thought it'd be a nice introduction to our storytelling theme for the month. So, in the 1980s, folk singer Mike Jones wrote The Storyteller, a song inspired by the work of his friend Taffy Thomas. I'll tell you all about Taffy Thomas in a minute. Cherished by Taffy for the past 30 years, The Storyteller is reproduced here as a poem, and its words perfectly encapsulating Taffy's own thoughts on the art and practice of storytelling. So here we go. I really love this one. I'm a teller of tales, a spinner of yarns, a weaver of dreams, and a liar. I'll tell you some stories to tell to your friends while sitting at home by the fire. You may not believe everything that I say, but there's one thing I'll tell you that's true. For my stories were given as presents to me, and now they are my gifts to you. My stories are as old as the mountains and rivers that flow through the land they were born in. They were told in the homes of peasants in rags and kings with fine clothes adorning. There's no need for silver or gold in great store, for a tale becomes richer with telling. And as long as each listener has a pair of good ears, it matters not where they are dwelling. A story well told can lift up your hearts and help you forget all your sorrows. It can give you the strength to face all your troubles tomorrow. For there's wisdom and wit, beauty and charm, there's laughter and sometimes there's tears. But when the story is over and the spell it is broken, you'll find that there's nothing to fear. My stories were learned in my grandparents' home, where their grandparents also had heard them. They were given as payment by travelling folk for a warmth to lay down their burdens. My stories are ageless. They never grow old. With each telling they are born anew. And when my story is ended, I'll still be alive in the tales that I've given to you. So I just think that is just beautiful in a nutshell. Stories. I do like stories. That's how we learn everything, isn't it? It's just passed down through the generations. Like, just wonderful things. And always free music. Because I thought, I'm trying to think of music that tells a story. That's basically every song ever written, isn't it? So I don't think I'll be short of material for this month. So a folk song by Mike Jones. I did find the audio of it. It's a lovely song. If you can find it online, if I can find it, I might share the link later. But so that's by folk singer Mike Jones, called The Storyteller. It's about Taffy Thomas. So Taffy Thomas, right, so Taffy Thomas trained as a literature and drama teacher at Dudley College of Education. After teaching for several years in Wolverhampton, he founded and directed the legendary folk theatre company Magic Lantern, illustrating traditional stories and songs with shadow puppets and circus skills. He founded and directed the community arts company Charivari with their popular touring unit, the Fabulous Salami Brothers, which he fronted and performed in. After a major stroke at the age of 36, Taffy turned back to storytelling and a self-imposed speech therapy, which turned into a new career. Taffy has a repertoire of more than 300 stories, collected mainly from traditional oral sources, which he's happy to tell in almost any situation. This repertoire was built by meeting and working with virtually all the great traditional storytellers who were alive in Britain. He is now the most experienced English storyteller, having performed in many countries on 4 continents. In the 2001 New Year's Honours List, he was awarded the MBE for services to storytelling and charity, and performed a new collaboration for the Blue Peter Prom at the Royal Albert Hall. He's a patron of the Society of Storytelling. And in 2009, he accepted the honorary position of First Laureate for Storytelling, which ran for 2 years, from January 2010 to January 2012. So there you go. Mike Jones was inspired by Taffy to write that poem. Well, write that folk song about the storyteller. But it's they're important stories. So I picked out some hymns that are related to either stories themselves or talk about telling stories. Some of them I've never played. And of course the stories behind the writing of the hymn. So there's a nice stories behind Amazing Grace and In Christ Alone. So I might dig those out in a bit. So we'll start with Tell Me the Stories of Jesus. Seems an obvious place to start, doesn't it? Because that is, if I can find it. I'm on my best. See, I told you, I'm just not organised today at all. Not at all. I'm normally better than this, aren't I? I normally at least look like I know what I'm doing. Because I don't think it matters if you don't know what you're doing. You just need to look like you know what you're doing, don't you? But I probably shouldn't say things like that while I'm streaming on my business page, though, should I? We're amongst friends. Tell me the stories of Jesus that I love to hear. Things I would ask him to tell me if he were here. Scenes by the wayside, tales of the sea, stories of Jesus, tell them to me. Got some amazing words. It's a shame nobody's here to sing this for you today. Let me just prop it up on here. Right. I might turn that down a bit because the right. Oh my God, so I've not had time to practice at all this week. So pretty. Oh, Janet's here. You're late. I was late anyway. I was late as well. That one is in. It's in Hymns and Psalms. I had to record it for an online service a month or so back. I sang that one. I don't know if you remember. And I found it online somewhere, and I didn't realise it was in Hymns and Psalms. So yes. Then I've got some from Junior Praise as well. There was Only a Boy Called David. So we'll have a story, a Bible story song before we get back to the others. So we're just going to be a little bit random today. So I wasn't very well prepared at all, but I've had to send some emails and things as well tonight and sort out send some hymn words. Only a Boy Called David, only a rippling brook, only a boy called David, 5 little stones he took. So I'm assuming this is the story of David and Goliath. So it's then one little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. One little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round, round and round and round and round and round and round and round. One little stone went up, 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 and the giant came tumbling down. So it's one of the a lot of the. I do think I've got to find some hymns that are stories or about stories, and then I look in the kids' books because they all are, aren't they? There. So. The kids get all the best songs. I quite like that one. So there's a couple more out of there. But if anybody can think of any, I've got loads of books here. Amazing Grace, actually. I'll get out now because I know where that is and I need to practice it for next week. And what this was, it was because I found this relates to stories because of how the hymn came about. If I can find my paperwork that I printed out, I did a little search. Sorry, moving you around. So I did a little set, the top 10 most popular hymns of all time and their history. So I thought, the story behind some of these hymns would be quite nice. So Amazing Grace, written by John Newton. Most of us have heard the familiar words, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. The author of the hymn was, by his own admission, a wretch. He was a slave trader, a blasphemer, a rebel, an immoral man, a torturer, and as far from grace as anyone could ever be. As a boy, John was captivated by the adventure and risk of life on the high seas. When he was 11, young John Newton launched into that exciting life of voyaging, sailing, and living his dream. But the dream turned out to be a nightmare. Later in life, he wrote, I sinned with a high hand, and I made it my study to tempt and seduce others. Newton lived a hard life with hard consequences. God got his attention, though. In 1748, Newton's slave ship was nearly wrecked by an intense storm. In the tempest, surrounded by crashing waves, cutting winds, creaking timbers, and the cries of onboard slaves, John fell to his knees and pled for mercy and for grace, God's grace, which reaches anyone, anywhere. Saved a wretch like John Newton. Newton wrote the song years later while serving as a pastor in Olney, England. During America's Second Great Awakening, the song was paired with its familiar tune and was widely used in camp meetings and revival services. Today, its lyrics still inspire, encourage, and instruct people about the radical reality of God's amazing grace. So there you go. There's a story, the story behind Amazing Grace. I'm sure we all know the words, most of the words of this one, don't we? No, I'm starting in the wrong place. Sorry, let's have another go at that. I'll have a look through these. Let's do these ones, these top 10 things. There's some really nice ones, and like I say, it's just the stories behind them. But something I'd also like, from any requests you want to send in, if you can message or email me some requests, because I don't just want the hymn. What I'd like is like hymns and songs that sort of tell a story that you relate to, and like what it means to you. And it's just nice to maybe share some things like that. So another one, while I'm in this book, so I've not played before. As I say, I just haven't had time to practice today. I don't know this one. I found one. I was doing a little search of songs that tell stories, and I found Tell Me Who Made All of Creation, which is in Singing the Faith. Tell me who made all of creation, who designed the wonders of nature, whose idea was pattern and colour, wonderful to see. Everywhere around me, I can see the hand of God. The evidence surrounds me in the greatness of his world. Tell me who made music and laughter, who designed our bodies to start with, whose idea was thinking and feeling, who gave life to me. Don't stop looking, don't stop believing. God is to be found when you seek him. All creation tells of his glory for eternity. Everywhere around me. I like this one. I like the words. Anyway, I don't know what the tune is. I've never played it. So the tune isn't in the piano part. There you go. Almost. Well, almost. I really like that one. I really ought to write these down. Really should write these down. Every week I play a new one and I'm like, oh, I love it. Must add that to my list for church. And then it never happens because I forget. And then I love to tell the story, which I found in the, that's on my tablet. It's in the United Methodist hymn book or something, which I found in digital format. But what have I done with it? You can see it from there, can't you? Right. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm just setting this up and trying to find my hymn book. I don't know if anybody's on. Oh, shares on YouTube. I can sort of see the chat on the YouTube page. Don't know what else comes up with the next reviewer on YouTube. I think somebody's keeping an eye on me, making sure I'm not. Right, so ideas of favourite storytelling hymns, or hymns that have a story for you behind them. I've got one, but I'll play it next week because I want to find. I'll tell you what it is, but I want to find the history and the story behind it. It's Freshwater. I want to play that one, crossing the bar, because it was actually written. It was written about the Isle of Wight, because it was written by Tennyson. So I will find that. I will dig that out for next week and find the history behind it. But I'll just I would just find this United Methodist hymn book. There's loads of other good ones in there. So yeah, do have a little bit of a think, because I've got a little while today. I've done half an hour. I've still got 3 or 4 on my list to do. I don't know where I've put it. Do you know what I've done? I think I've put it on my iPad and I'm filming from my iPad. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put that into next week's. Sorry. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's on my iPad. Anyway, so that's for next time. I've done Tell Me the Story. I've done that. Another one from Junior Praiser is Tell Me the Old Story. Don't know what this is. Tell me the old story of unseen things above, of Jesus and his glory, of Jesus and his love. Tell me the story simply as to a little child, for I am weak and weary and helpless and defiled. Tell me the old story of Jesus and his love. Some of you probably know this one. I don't, but I don't need to know. Play it anyway. That's what Steve says to me when I go to the jazz jams. And he gives me a name of a tune and tells me what book it's in. And I say, oh, I don't know that one, Steve. And he says, play it anyway. So that's the principle now. To see, I'm not sure. I don't think I know this, but we'll have a go. But tell me the old story. I'll play the whole of the chorus to try and get into the swing of it. There we go. It's very, yeah. Is it quite an old one? Oh, yeah. By Arabella C. Hankey. At some point in the, yeah. It's probably pre-1900. It's probably, a book's upside down. Right, In Christ Alone. Not really sure what book it's in. Probably not this one, is it? I'm probably in completely the wrong book. I think I am. Is that in number 2? Is that in Songs of Faith? It's probably in Singing the Faith, actually. Anybody know where In Christ Alone is? It's probably number 3. Not in that one. It's here somewhere. I know I've got it. And I've got it because I've played it. Does that bring back memories then? Does that bring back memories of Sunday school? What? Cher had suggested that, actually, as a sort of... Yes, Cher, I'll do that one. I just picked up number 3. I'll do that. It's 1, 2, 3, 9. I'll find In Christ Alone in a minute, but Cher's just made a very good point, and I know it's one of her favourites, is 1, 2, 3, 9. From the Squalor of a Borrowed Stable. She said it tells the full story of salvation in 4 verses, and the second part of verse 2 especially fills me with hope. I'll find it and read it to you. So yeah, from the Squalor of a Borrowed Stable. So yeah, it tells the whole story of everything. So that's a really good example of stories in songs, and particularly hymns. So the second part of verse 2 we like. Like, yes, he walked my road and felt my pain, joys and sorrows that I know so well. Yes, his righteous steps give me hope again. I will follow my Emmanuel. It is for the whole thing is full of hope, isn't it? The whole hymn is full of hope. 1, 3, 4. Thank you, Cher. It's in the same book of Doing Christ Alone after this one. So we've got From the Squalor of a Borrowed Stable, and then our Doing Christ Alone. But there is a story. I have got the story behind In Christ Alone, which I will read to you. So, right. Can't think where to start this. Right, probably from there. Right. Probably too fast, sorry, I do apologise. I get a bit carried away sometimes when I'm playing. So In Christ Alone, which is 1, 3, 4, 6. I knew it was in here somewhere. Oh, and this is the one with the tail, the little coda on it. The one in Sing the Faith hasn't got the different ending. I remember now. So In Christ Alone, although it is a modern hymn, the song In Christ Alone has been a heartfelt favourite of so many that it is part of this list. So this is like the 10 all-time favourite hymns and the history behind them. The song was written by Keith Getty and Stuart Townend. Getty's goal as he collaborated with Townend on the song was to tell a story, again, the whole gospel story in one song. The song does just that and leaves us awash in the all-consuming flood of Christ's love. What heights of love, what depths of peace, here in the love of Christ I stand. So again, this is another one that tells a lot of the story in one song. So in a Yeah, sorry, Jeff. I should have slowed down. But it's just, yeah, sorry. Right, so Christ alone. Oh, wrong key. So I can't see the comments because I'm hiding the screen behind my tablet. Is everybody still here? What is the time of the quarter? Right, I might just do one more. But if anybody's got any ideas or any like say anything that means something to you, like the story behind the hymn for you, then do send them in. And any sort of let's say any more poems like the one I read to start with. And secular songs as well. I'll try and find a few. I have got a list of ones I needed to have a run through, but honestly, I haven't had time this week. I just haven't had time to prepare anything this week. I've been not slacking. Obviously, I've just been so busy with everything. This sort of just fell by the wayside a little bit. So I will sing the wondrous story, isn't it? Really ought to be my ending hymn. That's hydrofoil, isn't it? Hydrofoil. There we go. Oh, there's 2 tunes to that. I don't think I've ever played the first one. What is the first one? Oh, yeah, it's in 4 flats. That's why I've never played the first one. I probably can't. I'll have a go at that. And I will find out. The story behind the hymn Freshwater between now and next week, and I'll do that one. I'll do any that I've missed or couldn't find. I like that one that's in the my digital hymnal, which is on the iPad, which I'm filming on Facebook with, so I can't play that. So I will sing the wondrous story of the Christ who died for me, how he left the realms of glory for the cross on Calvary. So go. So yeah, we'll do, so any ideas then of any more we can add? So we've got the rest of May. So there's another 3 Sundays of this with the storytelling theme. And then if you can think of any themes that we could have from June, because I know Cher did suggest sort of our favourite Sunday school hymns. So yeah, I'd like to hear those from you and put a little list together. And just, yeah, we'll see, because I'm sure there'll be like national days and months and things like that. So the 21st of June, so I might do something on the 20th. 21st of June is National Make Music Day, which is where we're having a big event at Bar 74 to launch all our new groups through the CIC. So that's hopefully going to be huge. So it's a few weeks away yet, but I'll remind you of that near the time. So I think that's probably it. No more news today, really. But please do send in your requests by message or email, because I'd like to know rather not just the hymn. I'd like to know a little bit behind it as well. So I'll see you all same time next week, hopefully. I can't see. Put things in the way. Right, so this is YouTube done. So I'll see you all next week. Bye. Bye, Cher.